Alright everybody, let's actually solve part B this time. We're supposed to use this equation and this equation that we found in the last clip, plus the fact that in a clearing market, assets of the household have to equal the total amount of junk in the society, and find the first order differential equations. What does that mean? In Ramsey, the first order differential equations, there are two of them. So solo, we only had one variable, we only had consumption. And capital, so we're just worried about capital accumulation. How much stuff do they use? Here we have two things. We're worried about the k hat dot, just like we were in solo, but then we're also worried about savings, which we just consider as c hat dot over c. So the way to answer this question is to find these two, and we're going to start with k hat dot, and we're told that a equals k. Well, if a equals k, we can divide both sides by x, and it follows that that means a hat equals k hat. And since these are the same thing, a hat dot will equal k hat dot. So we have no idea what k hat dot is, and I don't know how to get there, and I don't care, because we know what a dot is. We can start from here. We found earlier that a dot is equal to w plus accumulation of rents minus depreciation minus consumption. And we're going to start by dividing everything here by x. Divide by x, divide by x, divide by x. And we don't know this, a over x, but we should be getting used to the routine now, I think. Whenever we need to figure out something like this, just like in solo, you want to do the derivative trick. You want to shake the derivative bag. So let's just look at a over x derivative. And then this term will fall out of that, and we can figure out what it is by plugging this into that. So a over x derivative is going to be equal to the derivative of the top times the bottom minus the derivative of the bottom times the top, divided by the bottom twice. X dot over x, we are told, is defined as gamma, and a over x is equal to a hat. So we have two a over x's. We're going to get a hat dot is equal to a dot over x, these two x's cancel, minus gamma a hat. Now we actually know what a hat over x is. That's this same thing over here. So let's plug it in. A hat dot is equal to w over x plus a hat r minus n minus gamma a hat minus c hat. We'll just define this guy equals c hat. And there's no such thing as w hat. I mean, I guess we could define it, but we're not supposed to, because the book doesn't tell us to do that. But we do remember that we calculated that w is going to equal x times f of k minus f of k hat minus k hat f prime of k hat. So we can just plug that in for w, and you can see right away this x and this x will cancel. Remember in the book, in the question, it gives us this written as e to the gamma t times all that junk. Just remember that e to the gamma t is x, and we looked at that in the last video. So what we're going to end up with is a hat dot, the x's cancel, a hat dot equals f of k hat minus k hat f prime of k hat, and then to that we add, let's put these terms all together, we're going to get a hat times r minus n minus gamma minus c hat. Now we're going to use our little trick up here that a hat is equal to k hat. So let's change everything. I'll even change the color since we're changing everything. This beautiful salmon color. K hat dot is equal to the f of k hat minus k hat f prime of k hat plus k hat r minus n minus gamma minus c hat. Now, we also know the value of r. Remember, in the profit maximization, we found that r is going to be equal to f prime of k hat minus delta. So let's plug it in. K hat dot is equal to f of k hat minus k hat f prime of k hat plus k hat times the quantity f prime of k hat minus delta minus n minus gamma minus c hat. Okay. Let's factor out this f prime of k hat, because maybe you can see that this times this cancels with this. So we're going to pull that out. So we'll get k positive k hat f prime k hat, and here we have negative k hat f prime k hat. So that cancels with that. And so we are left with k hat dot is equal to, I think this is drum roll worthy, that canceled. So we just have f of k hat plus k hat times minus delta minus n minus gamma minus c hat. And I paused there for a second because this is really ugly and I kind of got confused. But all we're going to do is we're going to factor out the minus 1 to here. So it'll beautiful it up a little bit. So okay, here's the real drum roll, and let's do it in orange. The final answer, I guess that's yellow. Whatever, it's a growth class, not an art class. K hat minus k hat delta plus n plus gamma minus c hat. Q, E, D. That's our first differential equation. So in the next clip, we will find the second one, which is this c hat dot over c.